Warning! The Anime Egotists have opinions about stuff and other stuff. Please understand this while watching the video and know that no opinion is a fact, not even yours. So please enjoy the video, or don't. And welcome back to the Anime Egotists, where we are the kings of mediocre style. We got me, Foster, and I'm joined by my partner who likes long romantic walks in the park.
That's right. And I'm Williamson.
That's right. And one of the things I love about anime, the animation, the characters, all that other nonsense and stuff, but one of the things I love specifically are the openings.
Exactly. I mean, they're supposed to get us hyped up and get us raring to go. This is going to be awesome. And they all try to do it to tell their story a little bit in advance. Some are less successful, but today we're going over the best, the ones we like. Specifically, we're also doing the Japanese dubs, or the ones that aren't English dub originals.
That's right. And if you want us to do a list of the worst anime openings, then I'm sure we'll get around to that at some point. But like we always say, there are thousands of these out there, so we're probably not going to have your exact favorite. So just let us know in the comments what your favorite anime openings are. And like as usual, there's no set order to these. There's no we like one more than the other, because we would be here all day, because I am very indecisive when it comes to these. But anyways, let's get right into it. And I guess I'll start with my first anime opening that I love, Tongekyo Alien, serial TV drama, the ninth Gintama opening. Okay, so for those of you who don't know Gintama and who assume it's just a show that makes you laugh, you're about 95% correct, because there's a lot of weird, wacky, crazy characters doing weird, wacky, crazy stuff. But there's also a lot to it. There's also a lot of intense battles, death, and some serious themes. And opening 9 does a great job of encapsulating that. Not only is the song addicting as hell and builds up, especially towards the beginning when things start getting really interesting, but at the same time, it shows just what Gintama's like. At the beginning, everything's fine. Everything is super happy. Everything's kind of crazy, though. And then towards the middle and the end, things are getting serious. People are dying. We're seeing like these dark, scary images. And the song perfectly encapsulates Gintama at its finest.
Yeah, I pulled it up just to have a quick look at it while you were speaking, and it reminded me of the few episodes I watched with you. It very much reminded me of that.
Not to mention, it's just nice to see our three idiotic, crazy heroes just smirking at you like you're the problem. Because yeah, we probably are the problem, but what's not a problem is that Gintama opening.
We Are by Hiroshi Kitadani, I believe is how you pronounce it. It might be, the last name might be pronounced differently, but it's the first opening for One Piece. And again, this one has been done both by the English dubbed and the English subbed, but it just fits for One Piece. It's all about adventure and where they're going to go, and all about exploring. And it just fits One Piece's story of, this is who we are. We're going to go on this epic journey, and I feel like it flows perfectly.
Yeah, One Piece is one of those ones where we really need a sense of adventure to its opening. So I would agree in the sense of, if a song could have a great adventuring and just exploration of everything happening, I think that's definitely a great fit for One Piece. And I think we can all admit it probably holds up better than, well, the other first opening they did. But we can save that. We'll talk about that another time.
Yep.
Anyway, Ace. Number 2 for me, Rakugaki Page by Kankaku Piero, aka the 6th Black Clover opening. Now, I know what some of you were thinking. Hey, wait, but all Black Clover openings are good. Yes, they're all fantastic, especially the gag one. But this one in particular really speaks to me, because we're in the middle of a tournament arc, or everybody's getting ready. It shows off a lot of the biggest problem with a lot of openings is they might focus on too few characters, or sometimes too many characters. But I feel like the sixth opening does a really good job of showing off everybody's strengths. Mimosa with her awesome plant-based powers, Asta with his demon powers, Zora with basically everything he went through during his childhood. It especially gives detail to Finral and everything that happens with him and his character during this arc. Not to mention, in Like I Always Love, it's a fast-paced, heavy rock opening sung by the same group who did the first opening, and the visuals are beautiful, especially at the end when we see all of our favorite Black Bulls standing up for Finral, because that's when the show's at its best, and that's what the opening demonstrates.
Yeah, don't think I've ever gotten this far into Black Clover. As I've told Foster a few times, I've only ever made it to, I guess, the first Hot Spring series of episodes. They're about to climb a volcano, and that's kind of, I just stopped for, I needed a break. I binged everything up to there and stopped. So I don't think I've seen this one, but I do agree. A lot of the Black Clover openings are really good. They encapsulate that there's this magical world, and then there's some darkness in it, but our heroes are going to prevail in the end.
That's right. Heck, even the most anti-Black Clover people admit, hey, if you mess with any of these openings, we are going to kill you. And I normally don't entice violence, but in cases like this, I might be up for it.
I think it's called Gurren no Yumiya, or it's the Attack on Titan's original opening. It might be Jaeger. That's how it starts, and it's just a heavy rock song that hits right off the bat. I mean, this gets you into anything. I mean, you could play this in front of almost any anime, and I believe you would be able to make it a good anime, or you'd make me want to watch that anime, even if it's bad.
I especially love like the opera sense of it. Like opera is not really something I would think about adding to a Japanese anime opening, but it really, really helps in this case. It provides a sense of danger and worry, even if the only words that any of us understand is Jaeger and we all have to yell at the top of our lungs. It's still worth it for this song and this series in particular.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the series, and I need to go back and finally watch, I think, the third season. I've seen the second and the first before the fourth one, but I mean, this is actually the whole reason. I think I was watching Adult Swim one night, and something ended, and I hadn't turned the channel yet, and that theme hit, and it was just like, what is this? And I want to watch it.
Yeah, I might not be the biggest fan of Attack on Titan, but even I can admit that that opening is something pretty damn special. Haruka Kanta by Asian Kung Fu Generation, aka the second Naruto opening, well, technically both in English and in Japanese. This opening will always have a little bit of a special place in my heart, as this was the very first one of the very first anime openings that I saw, and I thought to myself, whoa, anime music is kind of awesome.
I mean, I think everybody grew up with a Naruto opening. There's one that everybody loves.
Yeah, and I knew that was going to be on your list, which is why I decided let me not do that. But anyways, though, there's there's a heavy rock anthem to it. It never lets up, and the pace of it never really changes, which ordinarily bothers me. But overall, I think it worked for the sense of the song. And just out of curiosity, I think I prefer not the English lyrics, but I prefer the version that showed in America, because there were different versions and that showed in Japanese, which showed basically something more akin to actual anime openings, while the English version they showed basically showed scenes from the anime, so more like an AMV. But I thought it worked for this case. At least they weren't spoiling every single thing or just adding completely irrelevant stuff like one of the Dragon Ball openings, which might be on our list for next time. But for now, Haruka Kanta is definitely a song that if it doesn't get you into Naruto, then we can't be friends.
I just want to confirm, is that the one for Naruto? I don't really remember all the early ones, because they seem like they changed a few of them up halfway through, but they were still the same song. Is that the one for the tuning exams? Is that the second opening?
Yes,
Or like
that
the
would be
beginning of it?
the tuning
Okay.
exams. Yes, not from sadness to darkness or whatever that was. I won't. I don't think I'll ever like that one. But once again, we can talk
No,
about that
the
another time.
like they just get like they get back from their mission and they change the song.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I like that one.
Yes. Like I said, it's not the obvious Naruto opening, but I knew that was going to be on somebody else's list, so I decided to keep my mouth shut. But for now, that's my
Yeah.
pick.
Since it's my turn and you just did your Naruto, I'll go with mine, and that is Go by Flow. I mean, this has got to be the best Naruto opening. I mean, some people will say that there's a Shippuden one or another Naruto one that's just better for them, but I think every Naruto fan loves Go. It's one of the best
Oh
of
please,
Naruto.
it's not just my friend, it is not just Naruto fans. I remember in like the 6th grade, everybody was singing this song. And I as a Naruto fan, I was asking around, do you guys know what you're singing? They're like, no. Do you know what it's from? No. Do you know who sings it? No. You like it? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine with me. Nope, no reasoning. No reasoning needed.
Yeah, it just it has moments that are fun, and it really does a good job of setting the tone for this part of Naruto, which is, I believe, they're going to look for oh God, what's her name? Tsunade. It's Naruto and Jiraiya searching for Tsunade, if I remember correctly.
That is correct.
So there's a lot of comedic episodes, but then it's still action packed, and this gets you hyped for the action, but then you can still enjoy the comedic elements, and you don't feel that the opening set the wrong emotions up at the same time.
I'm glad you brought up anime openings that bring up the wrong emotions because that I will get to that in my honorable mentions. But yes, of course, it's probably one of Flow's most recognizable songs. Even if you don't like Naruto, you know this opening. This opening got in the heads of so many kids who were jumping up and down on their couches screaming the song and then getting yelled at by their moms because they were being too loud or something like that. Not that I knew about that, but yes,
So,
anyways.
before we move on, I just have to say this about this one. So, I mean, we grew up during that time frame where when you're young, you can't find the DVDs or the Blu-rays or whatever was out at the time. So I was watching Naruto on cartoonnetwork.com back when they had all the like classic episodes on the website. And I had seen, this is kind of where I had started before I was able to go back and watch the original part of it. So this was the first uh, opening that I saw of Naruto, because I remember my first episode, I believe, was him training to be able to do the Rasengan with like the water balloon or something. That was my very first episode.
Heck, there were times when I would watch Naruto before my parents got up because I would record it. And there would be times I would almost never even get to the episode because I was too busy going back and replaying the theme song. But on the days when it would record everything except the theme song, then I got upset. Moving
Yeah.
on.
So yeah, next opening for you.
So I guess I'm also gonna go with the Flow song, but from a completely different series. The song "Hey" by Flow, aka the third Beelzebub theme. This okay, let me just say I like all the Beelzebub themes. Well, the last one not so much. It doesn't really work for the tone of the series. But this one in particular, as usual, is a heavy rock theme and kind of showcases a little bit of how much the characters have grown because while the characters aren't necessarily bad people, they're not exactly good people either. Most of them are kind of selfish. Most of them would rather just stay off in their own group of people. But this one kind of showcases that even though they're all parts of different cliques and everything, they're still sticking by each other and pretty much willing to kick the asses of every single enemy that stands in their path.
I actually don't know this one from the others. I know I've probably seen it because you watched, I think, the entire series when we were roommates. So I've probably seen it. I just don't remember it off the top of my head. But
and
if it's a
that's
song by Flo, it's probably good.
yeah. Admittedly, it's not one of Flo's more famous songs, even though in my opinion it should be. But they've made like 10 songs for Naruto at this point. But overall, it's an energetic song that it's one of those songs for me especially that's even better as a 3.5 minute or however long minute song it is. Not to mention we get to see all of our favorite characters, especially a certain one with a pompadour. But
So I'm actually going to continue this trend of other songs by Flo from different anime, and it's been a long time since I've seen this anime, but it's the Colors opening by Flo for Code Geass. It's a bit more generic, I think, than some of the others, but for me, it just hits right. It leads into a really nice mech show. If you aren't into mechs, like I've never been able to get into any of the Gundam shows, but I got into Code Geass. I was able to watch the entire series, so I don't know. I just love like this anime. It really helped me get into Code Geass, and I think Code Geass was like the second or third anime that wasn't like the big three. It wasn't Naruto, Bleach, or Dragon Ball at the time.
yeah, even I haven't. Admittedly, it's been quite a while since I've sat through Code Geass, but even I know that opening. It's one of those openings that I completely forgot about, and then all of a sudden I was going through Flo's playlist. It started playing, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know what this is. I know exactly what this is. So yeah, I can definitely understand and why colors can add a lot of life and oddly a lot of color to a series.
Yep. So I believe it's your honorable mentions time.
Wow, oh man, I didn't mean to save this one for my last one, but I had to skip around. So here are my honorable mentions. First off, Shiny Tail by Mixed Speakers Inc., aka the opening to Daily Lives of High School Boys. Where do I start with this opening? Now, it's a great song. It's not necessarily heavy rock. Mixed Speakers Inc., I'm not exactly sure how you'd classify their music. It's kind of, I don't want to say indie, but it's kind of almost mythological in a sense, but they'd probably have a better chance of explaining it than I do. But it's this opening, and it makes it seem like it's going to be this dramatic kind of coming of age story about a couple of high school boys. And it doesn't necessarily get you hyped, but it gets you a little bit interested. Like, okay, let's see what these boys are up to. And then the very first episode, one of the boys is wearing a skirt. This is one of the first openings I ever saw that completely tricks you on how the hell an anime opening is supposed to go, because it treats it like it's completely serious and then just decides, no, we're just gonna screw around with these characters. There's not a whole lot of serious stuff to talk about. This is such a serious song for a coming of age story, but it's just about a bunch of goofy high school boys. The show opening completely undercuts the tone of the show itself.
Yes. So this is the one you were mentioning earlier. Doesn't set the right tone for the series, but yet still works for it.
No, but kind of makes it perfect because it kind of trolls the audience. It's not insulting. It's just sort of a wink and a gun, like, ha, we got you.
All right. My first honorable mention is one that we both really love, and it's the first Soul Eater opening. It sets the perfect tone for this dark, gritty world that, well, I don't even want to say gritty. This dark, kind of spooky world, I guess is the better term. It has a Halloween feel. I mean, I think this song would be fine on any Halloween playlist.
Yeah, there's something inherently creepy about this song, and I don't even mean that in a bad way, especially for a show like Soul Eater, because it's creepy, but it's not like downright scary or anything. And for the most part at least, Soul Eater is more lighthearted than most other horror themed shows or something along those lines.
I really think it has almost the same tone as the classic Dancing Skeletons thing. It doesn't scare you, but it has the right tone.
Yeah, I can understand that. And that it definitely would have been on my list had you not put it on yours. But Soul Eater opening Resonance, I can definitely vibe with that. And I don't want to say this as an honorable mention. Please, like, you can flame me in the comments all you want. I don't give a damn. Let Me Be With You by Roundtable featuring Nino. This song, I don't care if you think this is a good song, a bad song, whatever. The first Chobits opening. This song is going to get stuck in your head. I had a friend who I said, "Hey, Chobits, it's a pretty damn good show. You should check it out." She's like, "Yeah, okay." Within about 2 minutes of watching this show, watching the opening once, she told me how much she hated me because this song got stuck in her head. This song is never going to leave your brain. It is going to live rent free all the way up until you die. And even past that, even when you're in hell, like I'll be, this song will still be following me. I mean, it's not bad or anything, but you're never going to forget it.
I mean, if it's the one I'm thinking it is, then yeah, it's very catchy, and I've kind of avoided watching the anime because of how catchy the song is. I don't want to hear it over and over again and lose my mind.
I'll trust me. The next time we hang out, I'll be happy to sing it and play it in the car.
Yeah, that's probably coming up, unfortunately.
Hey, all right, Mr. Smarty Pants. What's your next honorable mention?
This is one that I've probably mentioned to you that I love this anime and this theme song, but I doubt you've ever heard it. It's Space Battleship Yamato. Um, I've so a little background. I watched the original English dub of this called Star Blazers with my dad when I was in middle school and maybe high school. So I grew up with the English dub, but so that one I like a little bit more than this. So it might be on another list eventually. I don't know. I'm still trying to decide. But this hits. I mean, it has like a deep operatic uh, feel to it. It's sung by some very deep voiced men, and it sets up the gloomy world where Earth has been attacked by aliens, and we're sending our last hope into space to get a device that can save Earth. I mean, it just fits. I love this song, and I mean, it's a whole story about how Earth was attacked, and then us going out to save the day.
Yeah, I can definitely get behind that. We're gonna have to get your dad on one of these videos. I want to hear his anime list sometime.
Um, it's probably that, maybe Speed Racer and Astro Boy,
Sounds perfect. Let's do it. Let's have him on.
because that's
And
probably the only ones he's ever seen.
if we get enough subscribers, we will get our parents on these videos. But still. And finally, my honorable mention. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to name this one. Watashi ga motena ai no wa do kangate. Oh, Jesus. The Lonely Girl. Watamote's opening. I'm not saying this whole name. I can't do it. By Konomi Suzuki and Kiba of Akiba. This opening, I talked earlier about how Daily Lives of High School Boys has this mellow, kind of upbeat opening at times, describing being pretty much the mundane life of high school boys, but really showcasing a weird, crazy, yet relatable high school life. Watamote almost kind of does the same thing, except it takes a show about a gloomy, depressed, sad, somewhat delusional girl, and pretty much takes all the visuals and the angst and turns it into a rock song. This is a heavy rock, almost punk-like song that it's a lot of screaming throughout the song, which normally would turn me off, but it fits the show so perfectly, and the lyrics and the song it's perfect, and it really turned me on to Suzuki San's work, and because she is flipping incredible with that song.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I seem to remember hearing that one a few times, and yeah, it may not even be that the show. It might just be that I like that song.
Yeah, considering the mixed reviews the show's gotten at times, I can understand your hesitation. But that's my last honorable mention. And Tomoko, I gave your show some love. Please just find something to do with that, please. Just something.
So my final honorable mention is I couldn't put it on myself to put any of the My Hero openings on here because none of them I really love that much, but all of them seem to work well enough to be an honorable mention for their segment of the series. I specifically like to think of the most recent season 4, because the first half is so much darker. I mean, there's death, people losing their abilities, people are crippled. It's a fight to save a little girl who from the clutches of one of the biggest bad guys so far in the series, and then so it's so much darker. And then the second half is the school festival. So, so the song it's changed to such a much more upbeat. And seeing it at first, I didn't like the change. It was so shockingly, oh my god, now we've got this upbeat song. But after seeing that second half, it's like it flows. It works for what it is. So I'm just throwing them all on because they all seem to do a good job of hyping you up correctly for the arc that's about to happen.
You just had to torture me with My Hero stuff, and you could have said something like, "Well, maybe this one and this two." Like, no, all of them, all of them. That's selfish. That's selfish of you. You know that. Our fans are gonna forget. We'll talk about
Fans.
we'll talk about
No, I know we have
what
20 of them now, somewhere around there.
we'll talk about we will talk about this later. We will talk about this later, young man. Anyways, before I kill my co-host, I guess I should talk about my next and final opening for this list. This might come as a little bit of a shock to you guys. Sonochi no Sadame by Hiroaki Tominaga, aka the first opening to the meme to the reference that is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Look, say what you want. A lot of people say, is that JoJo's reference? Is that a stand? All that other ridiculous stuff. I watch JoJo's for the plot. No, you don't. But this opening is majestic. This opening is so damn good. Once again, it's an opera piece that, once again, probably shouldn't work in the anime context, but in the sense of everything that Jonathan and Dio are going through with their rivalry, their childhood, all that, it sums it up perfectly. And even if I'm not watching an episode of JoJo's, or even if I make it past the first part, which, let's be honest, is probably never going to happen, that song is always going to stick with me. That is a song that anybody can get into. Ooh, heck, I made a joke earlier about how I can't understand anything from the Attack on Titan opening. I don't really understand anything from the JoJo's opening either, but I'ma still sing it.
Yeah, it works. I mean, that's the thing. Even if you don't like JoJo's, just because that's not, maybe it's the style of the anime, or it's just not the type of anime you like, they score JoJo's really well. I mean, it's hard to beat that. And oh, I'm sorry, I keep pronouncing it wrong. It's Dio's Bizarre Adventure, because Dio is the hero.
I was about to say, and I had to say all of this to appease the demands of our Lord and Savior Dio.
So let me see. My final one, and Alex is going to hate me for this one as well, probably, because it's Fairy Tale. And this one I'm going with, I narrowed it down between two. This one is my favorite, though, and that's Fiesta. I don't remember which numbered anime, because there's a ton of Fairy Tale openings. Fiesta's just fun. I mean, this part of the series is actually a very dark storyline, so it doesn't really fit. But Fiesta is such a good song for me that I just had to put it on this list. It's literally a party song. I mean, there's it sounds amazing to me. I don't know how to describe it better than that.
You know, I remember one time we were sitting in your car. I want to say we were waiting for a friend of ours, and I was trying to pull up some fairy tale openings because I want to see what are these songs like? Would it get me into the show? Let's see. And I remember you struggled a lot with trying to find the fairy tale opening. Like I want to say I pulled up the very first one. You're like, yeah, this one's all right. This one's pretty good and everything, but
some people will probably kill me for that because a lot of people really love the first one. And while it is actually it became the main theme for the entire series, it's still, I like Fiesta better. And then the other one I really like is, it's I think the first or the second one in the Grand Magic Games arc, and it's literally, it has the team walking into the stadium, and it hits for a tournament arc perfectly. But this one I just love so much more, just because I listen to this one regularly. It's just as I said, it's so much fun.
yeah, that's what the best anime openings are, the fun ones. Hopefully, we never actually have to go through with the worst anime openings list because as many good anime openings are there are a few stinkers out there. But who knows? We might all be dead by then, but who knows? Anyways, let us know what anime openings you would have wanted to hear from us. What are some of your favorites? Do you not like any of ours? Just let us know down in the comments below.
Again, all of these are our opinions. These are the ones we love, we might listen to on a regular basis.
Every day. And as usual, just know we picked one per franchise because we could have filled this whole list up with Naruto, Black Clover, One Piece. We could have filled this list up, but we're good. We're somewhat decent, mediocre.
We're people.
We're barely. Anyways, just let us know down below. This has been Foster
and Williamson,
and with the Anime Egotists, we are the kings of mediocre style. And if you disagree, you're wrong. Play me out, Gene.
You're watching Anime Egotists! And actually, I'm a better trainer than Brendan. Oh, come on, May. A little humility?